Hey, so I know you guys haven't seen me in a while, like a really long time, and I still have all of the videos that I was supposed to edit and put up. Um, but I'm actually here just to talk about Supergirl since I am awake, I have makeup on, and I just recently watched it. So I watched the first 3 episodes, and the pilot is okay. There's some like cheesiness, but you kind of have to expect that with like a TV show, a superhero, just some things are just cheesy, it's gonna be cheesy. Um, they do like an intro, like the Arrow and the Flash, where she kind of is like, I was supposed to protect Clark Kent, but I was in the Phantom Zone, and now I'm here, but it's 20 years later, and so when I was 13, I got adopted, and now I work in a media company, and kind of a good, like, framework basis for like kind of the setup of the show of like, okay, this is where we're at. Superman never appears, but they talk about him a lot, like a lot, and that's something that some people have a problem with. I kind of don't mind the fact that you never see him at all. I mean, it's like sometimes it feels a little bit like they're like purposefully wiggling around him, but sometimes it's just like he's got his own thing, she's got her own thing, she doesn't want to, I don't know. But character-wise, I feel like it's got a really great setup. There's the main character, and they have a good supporting cast. They've got her sister. They've got her, like, nice guy friend who's in love with her, but he's, like, her closest friend at the media company. And there's Cat Grant, who is, honestly, I think she's one of my favorite characters. She's just a straight-up bitch, and she's a boss, and I love it. She's the boss of whatever company she works at, media company. And it's really great because, like, at first you're just like, what is this one? But she's just so fun. She's just so fun. Like, just her meanness is really entertaining in a way that mean characters are entertaining. Because she's got it, she's got it. She's just very blunt and very mean and very, very confident. And I would not want to interact with her because she would treat everybody like they're worthless unless they've got something that she wants. And that's not fun to interact with, but she's very much herself. So, enough about me fangirling about how I love this terrible character. Back to the other characters. Other good character is James, I can't remember the last name, Jimmy. And I actually, honestly, this actor does an amazing job. I don't know what it is, but, like, he and Supergirl have such good chemistry. And he's just, I don't know, like, I can totally imagine him being a gawky photographer kid, and he just grew up to be really handsome. Like, that works. He pulls it off so well because he's very charming, and he really does a good job for what that character needs. I feel like that was excellently cast. It was cool to see kind of Supergirl has an adoptive older sister, and it's really cool because it's interesting because she was adopted into their family when they were 13, so her sister has to be at least 15. So I feel like they're a little bit more close than I would expect somebody who just moved in when you were in high school and they're in high school, like, to move in at that same time. But I also kind of understand they're close because she literally just came to Earth and doesn't know anybody. So I kind of understand that there's, like, I don't know, but, like, obviously they have a good relationship, and that's really cool to see, is that it's like a trusting sibling caring relationship, and they don't talk about Superman a lot, and, definitely passes the Bechdel test. But that's, it's Supergirl, a TV show, so it kind of has to. I kind of wish, well, I guess it's good that there's sister on the team because basically it's the guy who has a crush on her that works in a media firm, and then Jimmy Olsen also works in the media firm, and she's got a crush on him. So, I don't know. And then Cat Grant kind of does advise her in some things in an interesting way. So, also, some of the effects are really pretty good, and some of them are, like, absolutely terrible. Like, I feel like I'm in the 90s kind of terrible. Like, I remember making videos with this level of flying, like, stuff. Like, I think the CGI for her flying is the special effects for it is sometimes good and sometimes bad. So it's very hit or miss or that. I remember in one of the episodes they have a guy whose face opens, and that was really well done, and he's crawling on the walls. Really good special effects there. They've got some good character dynamics. They've got some interesting characters, great background characters. I don't know. She's not quite as spunky as animated series Supergirl, which is what I know most of like my superheroes from is the animated series. But she's very much her own character, and she's trying really hard to define herself outside of Superman, and so that TV show does a good job on focusing on that. And so it's a good show with potential to be a great show if they kind of get a little bit better, consistent special effects and continue developing characters in a really interesting way. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about any spoilers, but maybe next time I decide to make a video about Supergirl, I will have spoilers and react more to the plots. I kind of feel like they're introducing the main plot a little bit too soon. Like, I feel like we kind of should have caught our pace before introducing kind of the big bad that's going to be affecting the rest of the series. Because I feel like they're going to end up resolving it in season 1, and then it's going to be done, and then they're not going to have anything if they get renewed for a second season. But that's just kind of my vibe that I'm getting from it. But it's good. Not great, but it could be. And I'm just like, it's exciting to have a female superhero who's her own title character. Like, we have Peggy Carter, and she was her own miniseries, but we really haven't had that since we had Wonder Woman, you know? At least for my memory.
It's 9 o'clock.
So that's really cool to just see that. So I'm just kind of curious, what are your guys' impressions of Supergirl TV show? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you know more about Supergirl? Like, what do you wish they had done better? Or what do you wish they had left out? Like, what are your feelings on Cat Grant? Please tell me. And, like, does it kind of bother anybody else that her, like, close guy friend has, like, an intense crush on her and is, like, kind of weird about it? Like, yes, that's why you're not into me. You're a lesbian. And I'm like, well, maybe she should be. That would be better. You're, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I really hate when guy friends get weird on me like that. Personally. So maybe it's just my personal feelings affecting this. Because she acts so oblivious, but they both have this weird romantic thing going on with her, and it's kind of weird sometimes. Wow, I'm sorry, I'm still talking. But yeah, that's mostly it. I just want to know your feelings. Do you guys like it, love it, hate it? Please let me know in the comments. I want to talk to people about things. This is why I post these videos, so people can talk to me about their opinions on TV shows. Because that would be cool. I love having conversations. I'm a nerd. That's why I'm here. All right. Hopefully, I will be posting more videos in the future. I have a bunch that are sitting unedited that I honestly probably should just redo. And I'm trying to get back into reading comics. I kind of disappeared for the winter and went into hibernation. But I have lots of things I wanted to talk about. Actually, I will later post a video asking what comics you guys would like me to review next. Because I've got Fables, I've got Bitch Planet, I've got some other DC. Oh, the new Batgirl. So I would love to hear what comics you guys would like me to review. Because that way I know how to prioritize, because I'm bad at that. Alright. See you guys next time. Please comment, talk to me, and let me know your opinions. And let me know what you guys want to hear more from me about. And what you would wish I would talk more about in my reviews. So, yeah. Bye. So, side note, just kind of a little bit of spoilers, talking a little bit more about the actual TV show of Supergirl is, does anybody else get like a bye Jimmy Olsen vibe? Like his thing with Superman, just like a little bit. And then there was totally something else, but I completely forgot about it. Oh, like doesn't she have any platonic friends that aren't her sister? Isn't that kind of weird? Like doesn't she have any female friends? Like where are her friends? Does she not have any friends besides people who are attracted to her? I would like to know. I guess it's kind of like, it seems like in the comics, most of her friends are fellow superheroes. So there's that. And then I also wanted to comment, the difference between Supergirl and Peggy Carter is that there's a lot more diversity, and it's really noticed by me and appreciated. Like, at least, like, racially. A lot of people are a little bit peeved about the whole, oh, I'm not a lesbian, I'm the Supergirl, and I'm like, okay, like, that is kind of a bummer. It's kind of a bummer that there's basically the only diversity to have is they have men and women, they have some good female characters that have their own thing going on, and I really respect that, and they've got diversity, and sometimes only two is all you can ask for, you know? It's like, don't even get me started on asking for, like, you know, like, representation of people of multiple genders or sexualities or minority status of some other kind. Those are the big ones right now, is race and sex, or gender, whichever you prefer. There's kind of like a thing. And like with the exception of Daredevil, it's very unlikely that we're going to get disability characters, especially not in superhero things, because it's usually done weirdly. Like, even if it was done correctly, I mean, well, no, even if they did have disability, like characters with disabilities, often they would make their entire point of that character about their disability, and that's kind of ucky in its own way. So sometimes I'm ambivalent about whether I want to have representation for these characters, or if I'd rather not see them, just because I know it's going to be done poorly. And so, but they're doing a great job with representation of female characters and characters of color so far. I feel like there could be more characters of color, because so far there's only one main character of color that's like in the main cast, and there's just kind of background characters, like her sister's boss is black dude, and that's cool. We really don't have a lot of women of color yet. I'm so excited for Jessica Jones Misty Knight. This is just me rambling now. The episode is over. This is just more of my opinions about dumb things, which I totally want to know what you think about. Like, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you care about these things? Do you wish people didn't care about these things? Like, let's have an argument / discussion. So, I don't like political correctness for the sake of being politically correct, because it feels forced and yucky. Like, it's not enjoyable to see somebody that forced a female character in there, because you're like, you did not want her here. Nobody wants her here. She's poorly written. But it is great to see characters of varying things. And I care about these things because I'm female. Like, my dad is Hispanic. It's cool to see characters of color. Like, I want to be able to recommend this to my friends of characters of color without being like, oh yes, this white TV show with all white characters is super great and I can relate to it so much. Like, I want to be able to recommend this to all my friends and not be embarrassed about it. That's what I like in TV shows. That's what I care about in TV shows. And some of my friends are not going to be into that. And I don't want, like, that's really like tone deaf of me to say something's great if they can't relate, if it doesn't acknowledge their existence. And I just think it would be cool to see more characters of different types of minority groups and stuff like that, like more disabled characters that are well written, and more characters that just happen to be a sexual minority. And I would love to see more women of color, especially in these things. Like, Supergirl is better than Agent Carter in the way that he actually has diversity, like visible diversity, and it doesn't try to pseudo-feminist it. I thought Supergirl was like, isn't this anti-feminist to call her Supergirl? It was a really great moment, especially when Kat Grant dresses her down. She's like, I'm a girl. I run this company. I'm amazing. I'm attractive. I'm smart. I'm rich. I'm your boss. So, like, that was really interesting because, you know, there is that kind of, like, it seemed like more like a fluid thing than sometimes Agent Carter felt a lot to me like, the past was so sexist and we're so better than that now. But that's just the vibe I get. It's just, I don't know, a thing. And I'm glad that we have more diversity, but at the same time, Supergirl isn't, like, pushing any boundaries or anything. They're just not being terrible, I guess. And I appreciate that. Like, every bit does count. And it'll be exciting to see kind of if they expand, how they expand. Like, it has potential. I'm not in love with it, but it has potential. When I was watching Sleepy Hollow, I was absolutely in love with it and its potential. And it's not this kind of level of love. But I would definitely suggest watching it. And I want to stick with it and just kind of see what's up. Like, it, especially if we kind of talk about what we have problems with and what could be better, the show creators can make it a better show. It can be good. Oh, other things that are kind of weird is they're like, I guess this is part of like the cheesiness that I was talking about, is they're like, ah, yes, you have the heart of a hero, and like keep flashing back to being like, ah, yes, you're a hero, and I'm just kind of like, you keep saying this, but I don't think this means what you think it means. Like, you don't even know, like, what is your definition of a hero? Like, what is that? Like, I would have been cool if it said, like, oh, you have a kind heart, that's what's great about you, like, you care about people, like, you want to do good, you want to put yourself out there, you're generous, you're caring, you're empathetic. Like, that would be more interesting and more dynamic and more descriptive than you have a heart of a hero. Everything Jimmy Olsen does is great, though. Straight up. I love James Olsen. And I enjoy her sister a lot. The things that they do with Kryptonite in the show are really interesting. And this feels a lot like a spin-off TV show without the original series. Does that make sense? Like, Supergirl is essentially a spin-off, so it's like hard to not do that, but just how much they reference Superman kind of gives it a little bit of that vibe, and so you almost feel like you should be making cameos from his other TV show. And I've listened to like snippets of comments about it, and they're like the creators of Smallville, so like it would be kind of interesting if those universes were connected. Like, this is like 20 years after Smallville or something like that, 10 years. Like, that would be interesting to kind of connect those characters and stuff like that. But I feel like they, spoilers, major spoilers. I feel like they added the big bad of her aunt coming back and whatever bigger guy is in charge of her, I guess. Maybe. Like, I feel like they introduced that way too soon. Like, I feel like it would have been cool to maybe tease at it a bit. But it's 3 episodes and we're already in there. And I'm just like, this should have been like an episode 10 reveal of her meeting her aunt. And in like episode 8, it should have been released as she was independent. Because it's like, you kind of have to create a pace and a status quo in order to shock people by breaking it. And they didn't create a real status quo before introducing something shocking to break that. And I feel like they should have done their whole monster of the week that seems to be connected and is hinting at more, and her training. They could have done that and did more world building for at least the first 2 episodes, and maybe started introducing things in the 3rd episode. I don't know, like, some of it feels a little bit rushed to me, and I really enjoy the kind of, like, it's connected monster, like, overarching plot, like, there's actual continuity, but, like, a monster of the week kind of deal where she's dealing with new threats. And I feel like maybe the first episode could have just been her learning to be a superhero. Like, I don't know. I really love when Kat Grant told her, like, Supergirl should be taking it slow. She should be practicing. Like, she's taking too much all on one point. I think it's interesting that they took the quote that basically I feel like Scandal kind of popularized, which was about being black, and applied to being female, which is you have to work twice as hard and be twice as good to get half as much. And it's a very real quote. And, like, it does apply, but, like, you know when you're kind of, like, a bit of Velcro just kind of snags on one of your clothing items, and it just didn't quite fit right, and it just kind of feels a little weird? That's what that quote felt like to me. I'm just like, a little bit of snag of Velcro on something it wasn't supposed to be on. Pulls a string out or something. I don't know. Bad analogy. My bad. But. So, what did you guys think of that quote? Do you think it fits? And do you think that I'm getting my tidies in a wad over nothing for them introducing the characters too soon? Do you dislike Monster of the Week? Do you think that would have been boring? Do you like the pace that they're going at? Like, I want to know. And do you know information that I have to look forward to? Like, is there something cool to look forward to? Please comment and let me know. And I probably only binge watch TV shows, so I probably won't be watching the episode, like, religiously.
So if it's like 2 weeks and you can be like, hey, did you watch the newest one? They fixed whatever you're talking about. Like, I'll be like, oh, thanks, I'll check it out. Because I'm like that. And I just like to do things all at once while I'm paying attention. Although I'm not paying attention. I'm not very good at like keeping up on things. Bad about follow through. As you guys might have noticed by my lack of videos. But I'm going to try to get back in that habit. And we'll see how that goes. And I'll see you guys later.